Yo, what up? How's it going? And welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to think about your econ and health in TFT Set 6. So this is econ and health guide. Now, this is more of a specific topic. This is not a general econ guide. I will make something like that in the future. And what I do want to say is this is more of an advanced, or I'd say intermediate to advanced topic. So if you're a fresh beginner, some of this stuff may be weird, but you can start to learn this stuff to get you a baseline, but I think this is best for people who have been playing for a little bit and are trying to get better. I think is the best audience for this video. So just a heads up. And the other thing I want to say is this is a very complicated and nuanced topic, and a 10-minute video probably won't do this justice, but that's what I'm aiming for. What I'm trying to do in this video is help conceptualize to you guys how econ and health works and how those resources work and how you should think about them whenever you're playing your game in order to improve your placement and to get better at the game. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Now, the first slide is going to be why make econ thresholds. Now, this is very basic, but I got to go through these things and we're going to combine them and we'll start to conceptualize what it is. So why make econ thresholds? So this basic topic, missing 1 gold of eco early can translate to 4 to about 10 gold throughout the game. Now, those aren't exact numbers, but just think about it that way. It can result in a lot of lost econ throughout the game by just missing 1 gold of eco threshold. It can totally do that. You miss that a couple times, can really start to build up. For example, holding an Orianna on bench or on your board, now I'm being a little bit arbitrary here, stage 3 and 4 could end up costing you about 4 to 10 gold without actually offering you that difference in board strength and round wins. Now we'll talk about what that difference is later on in the video. You may not even have Ori in your late game comp, and it isn't offering much to your board strength now either. Objectively playing or holding Ori in this situation is generally incorrect. Now I'm being a little bit arbitrary by selecting Ori and saying in general. So most of the time, and this may change with balance change, but having like an Orianna on your board on stage 3 and stage 4, that might be the strongest version of your board, maybe. But something like a Taric could offer you equal or more value while costing 1 less gold. So do you see what I mean when I'm trying to do that? So Ori is like a utility unit that you might not even play every game. Now, if you have like a Sojin and some AP items already slammed and you really think you could carry like an Orianna, then maybe holding her or playing her is the right decision. But most of the time in general, having a 4-cost utility unit on your bench or on your board won't really change your board strength that much. And just think about like what could you be playing that could offer a similar board strength but save you eco. For example, Taric. Obviously that changes with body or changes with patch, but like Taric's a 3-cost. He could offer you that in result. So we'll talk about Taric on this one. So why should you hold units? Holding units for near future board strength, so next level or next 2 levels in the early game, can result in winning more rounds and saving health and econ in the long term. So think about that. Holding a unit could end up saving you health and econ because health is econ, and we'll talk more about that on the next slide. For example, holding Taric pair on stage 3 or stage 4 when he is your next level may result in several round wins or tens of health saved. Could also save you from rolling to spike. So that's another way you can save you econ. So I'll give you an example. And now this is pretty arbitrary and depends on balance change. But let's say you're playing a Yordle board and you're carrying a Tristana, right? Your board is like Tristana. Your board's like Tristana, Ziggs, or your board is like Tristana, Lulu, Poppy, Darius, right? In your next level, and so you're level 4, and you get a Taric, and you check the Socialite Hex, and it's right where you want it to be. It's right where you can put your Tristana. And so next level, level 5, Taric might really spike your board, right? Taric could be your level 5 or your level 6 because you want to get in like an MF or sniper, right? So your next 2 levels could be Taric plus MF. So if you got Taric and MF on your bench, that might be worth losing some econ because you can level to 6 pretty fast in the early game. And if level 6 really spikes your comp, holding those 2 units, getting the fast 6, that could save you a ton of HP. It could save you from having to roll earlier on stage 4. If that makes sense. And so we'll talk about that on the next thing. So you have to think about that. All right. Now, this may be getting a little bit too complicated and abstract. I don't think it is, but if it is for you, I'll try to conceptualize it here on this slide and the next one. So think about your health. I don't know why, but there's a typo there. Health, your health and econ as the same resource. So health equals econ. So let's try to conceptualize that, and I'll try to provide some examples. So having 20 extra health could allow you to sack an extra round or two before spiking your comp, which could result in 5 to 20 gold in the long run. So 20 health is going to get me 20 gold later. It can. Doesn't always, but it can. So what is an example of this? So let's say you're going to stage 4, which is a very precarious spot in the game because you either need to spike then or you're going to lose that stage and spike later for stage 5. Now, let's say you go to that stage with 30 health. You're on 30 health 4-1. That is not a great spot to be in, right? And so you're in a pinch because let's say you're 30 health and your board isn't strong. So there's two things that you have to do there. You either have to roll it down on 7, or you need to level and roll it down on either 4-1, 4-2, or 4-3 because you do not have enough health if your board is not strong enough. So your hand is basically forced because you didn't save enough health early. Your hand is forced, and you have like an average level of econ. Your hand is now forced that you need to roll on 4-1, 4-2, or 4-3. The game is basically out of your hands because you're either going to have to roll it down on 7 or you're going to have to level and pray that you hit in like a 20 gold roll down, that you could hit a board that'll win on stage 4 because now you have to win on stage 4 because you're so weak. Now, had you have spiked earlier on in the game, stage 3 or stage 2, having that 20 extra health could allow you to have some more freedom on your decision-making process. So let's say you're in the same situation, but you're 50 health. You're 50 health, 4-1, weak board, 50 gold, level 7, right? Now you're in the situation. Now you could actually have some freedom to decide, do I roll it down on 4-3? Do I level up and roll down on 4-5? Do I roll 30 gold right now just to spike my board so I can be decently strong on stage 5, and then I can level up on 4-5 or 5-1, right? So you have more options. Now, in the situation where you get 20 less health, you don't have options. You either have to roll it, you either have to full send right now, level 7, or you have to sack one round and pray that you can hit with 20 gold in your pocket on level 8 on 4-2 or 4-3. Now, that is not a great place to be, and that is a result of you not making enough health earlier. Now, here's the inverse of that. Having 20 extra gold could allow you to roll a round or two earlier, saving HP and getting a better placement. So let's put you in the same situation. Let's say you're 30 health, 4-1, but you have 80 gold or 70 gold. Now, that is not a spot I like to be in, but that is an infinitely better spot than 50 gold, 20 health, or 50 gold, 30 health, right? But let's say you have 70 gold now. Now, maybe you sack one round, you're at 25 HP, 4-2, but you have 30 or 40 gold to roll with at level 8, right? Now, this is highly dependent on augments, gold generating augments and stuff like that. But, you just need to think about it that way, is that health and eco are the same resource. So obviously, having high health and econ is great, but it's highly unlikely that you'll have both every single game. It is so unlikely. If you're playing against players of your skill level, sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're a dirty high roller. Most of the time you're not. But almost every single game, you can have high health or high econ. TFT is all about how you leverage both of these resources. So every single game, you'll have one of these to leverage. Every single game. Now, that doesn't mean every single game you can top 4, because sometimes you do get mort dogged, but most of the time you don't get mort dogged. Most of the time you only get mort dogged in one way. Either you get a weak board early game and mid game, or you don't get enough gold early game and mid game. Usually you only get mort dogged in one way. Sometimes you get mort dogged both ways. That is extremely unfortunate, but that is maybe 1 to 10% of your games. So 90% of your games, you can have control over one of these resources. And if you have control over one of these resources, you have control over both because they are the same. That's how you need to think about it. That is how I'm trying to help you guys conceptualize it. That is the point of this video. So here's a final slide and we'll talk about this. How do you know if a unit is worth holding or selling for econ? How do you know that? I just talked about it, just helped you conceptualize this. How do you do it? Here's the reality. The reality is this takes time to learn and master. That's why I said this video will not do it justice. I'll just talk about the last point. This only comes of playing and studying the game and takes time. There is no amount of material I could put into this video that would prepare you to perform this. You need to play or study the comps that you play or plan to play each game to build a comfortability around what spikes each comp or build path. So what I mean by this is like, you know, if you don't play a build enough, you won't know that Taric spikes your comp. You won't know that Misfortune spikes your comp. You won't know, you know, you don't know that holding Ori is bad or holding X unit is bad, holding Seraphine is bad. You won't know that unless you play those comps enough or you study someone who does play the comps that you're playing and the comps you're looking for. You just need to build a comfortability, and that takes time either by playing the game or studying. Now, if you see at the end, I put mindset guide training method. I actually have a guide on my training method on how to build up mastery of comps and how to train yourself to get better and get more comfortable with the game. I have a training method in my mindset guide video. I'll leave a link in the end cards, in the description, and in the pinned comment below for my mindset guide if you want to check that out and you want to learn my training method, because that is a whole topic that takes a long time to discuss. Now, one thing I'll just say about that mindset guide is it's a long guide, and the whole first 3/4 of it is all about mentally, how do you prepare for a climb? How do you prepare for getting better at the game? Now, I think that is the most important topic and one of the most criminally under-discussed topics in TFT. But if you don't want, and I think there's some good stuff there, but if you don't want to know anything about that and you just want to know about a training method to how to apply this concept, then it is the final slide in that video. So if you want to check that out and you want to know more info on how to actually apply this, then I have a whole section in my mindset guide to check that, to learn that. So check that out if you want to know more about this topic. All right, guys, that is pretty much going to be it for the video. I know this came in kind of short, and you know, maybe you ended this video and you're like, okay, well, I learned about some stuff, but I still don't know how to do it. And guys, just, if I'm just being really honest, the reality is you just have to learn and play enough to be able to apply the skill. That's why I say it's more of an intermediate to advanced concept. Is, you know, you only know how to spike your comps by playing them. Or by watching someone play them. You know, for example, last night I watched Ramblin play, and I learned a lot about spiking on Arcanist. Like that, I've played a lot of that comp, and I learned a lot about how to spike it by watching someone who's a little bit better than me at playing the comp. So that is a lot of stuff that I include in my training guide. Now, if you guys want more of me, I stream at twitch.tv/TrajanTFT 5 days a week, taking a break for the holidays. And I post a lot of TikToks at tiktok.com/@TrajanTFT. I also post them on YouTube Shorts. So if you already watch YouTube Shorts, you know, don't worry about following me there. And I post every single day on Twitter. If you guys just want to know more about me and just kind of my plans and stuff that I post on there, then I'd love to see you there. If not, I appreciate that you guys are even here on this video, and it means the world to me that you guys watch all the way to the end. So if you did like it, give me a like. That helps me out a lot. If you want to help me out, that's a great way to help me out. And if you want to comment on the video, that's another great way to help me out. And I read every single comment, and I reply to every comment that is worth responding to or positive. You know, I don't get in the weeds and argue with people on the internet. That's not how I do things. So, but if you want to leave a thoughtful comment, I will give you a thoughtful reply. And so I'd love to see you there, and I'd love to see all my other socials. That'd be very cool. But if not, I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you have a good night and a good day, and wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.